Welcome to the Art Den, where we meet all kinds of artists who make all kinds of art. We gain an insight into their lives and find out what inspires them. I'm Judy, and with me in the studio today is renowned local artist Glen Williams. Now based in Huddersfield, Glen was brought up in Rotherham. His figurative or semi-abstract art revolves around people living and working in cities and towns. Glen has exhibited in the prestigious Walker Art Gallery in Liverpool as part of the Art from the Terraces exhibition. And he had a solo exhibition in Huddersfield Art Gallery in 2023. Join us as we delve into Glen's experiences as an artist. Hi Glen, thank you for joining us
Judy.
today.
Good to be here.
Good, lovely. Shall we go on with the questions?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Great.
You'd be shocked if I said no.
Yeah, that wouldn't really work, would it? Great. So you did a fine art degree in the 1970s and then didn't pick up a paintbrush for the next 40 years. And you only got back into art about 7 or 8 years ago. So this is a two-part question. First, why didn't you pick up a paintbrush for 40 years? And second, what made you get back into art?
Well, I think it's difficult. I mean, it's the old cliche that life gets in the way. You know, you have a living to make. You can't just get a job as a painter, an artist. You have to. So it's difficult to try and do artwork while you're trying to earn enough to actually pay your rent and stuff like that. I think I'm also a little bit lazy. So I tend not to. I know some people who work from home. They'll go back. They'll do a full day's work and then they'll go back and do painting. Like I said, I'm a bit lazy that way. I tend to. All I want to do when I got back from work was crash in front of the TV or something.
Yeah.
So it's and I think. But I think it's a little bit easier these days in terms of getting your work across because we have the internet. That means you can create your own website, you got social media, you can promote your work, you can sell your work online. There's also seems to be quite a few little shops that will sell prints and artwork and stuff. And that just didn't happen when I left art college. The only way you could make a living from that is to be lucky, really, try and get someone in some art gallery that could take you under the wing and sell your work. So there's a little bit of that. I got back into it. I've had severe mental health problems, and I was in 7 or 8 years ago. I was in a real terrible state. And to cut a long story short, I started using art as a form of therapy. And the one in the front there, I was doing. Like a lot of people will keep a diary and they'll put down all the thoughts and feelings in that diary. I did it with painting, so it was like a visual diary. So everything, I was doing a painting virtually every day. Paintings like the one in the front there, and it was just everything that I was feeling or the emotions I was going through. I'd do things like that. I mean, the good thing is I can't actually paint anything like that these days, probably because my mental health is a lot better than it was, so it's a good thing. But that's how I got back in. I've carried on painting ever since. I think it's the best form of therapy. Art therapy is the best form for your mental health, mental well-being, and it's something that I advocate to everybody. Do something creative. It's a big thing that I have. But yeah, that's how I got back into it.
Fabulous. Yeah, really good. Really great. So you paint working people going about their lives and work. Where do you find your inspiration?
Well, I think that comes from my background. I grew up in a very working class area in Rotherham, in a council estate. Most of my relatives, they were either miners or steel workers or married to miners and steel workers or involved in that. So everybody who lived around the area were involved in the same industry business, and so it's just so that's the life I like to try and portray, the sort of working class life, the hardship, how even today it's quite hard, And it's that sort of it's just my roots, working class roots,
Mm-hmm.
and it's I like to paint things that I remember. So like the bygone times series paintings. But I also, I've been doing a lot of work. I like been doing a lot of work in with people working conveyor belts. So I've always produced work that's that's got working class people in there, or where working class people live, because that's what I know. I don't think I've never lived in the countryside, so I don't think I'm going to be able to paint a landscape anymore.
Yeah.
So I paint things that my experiences.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Yeah, really great. And so, what challenges have you faced in your life? Well, you've mentioned. The question, and how has art helped you to overcome them? So could you expand a bit on that?
Yeah, the mental health thing. Yeah, it's I think it's not really. I don't think the society, people who run society, don't realise how important art is to people. How important it is to the benefit of society. And I think because you can guarantee, it's like, if anything's going to be cut, you can guarantee it's going to be art or creative stuff. The government's made this announcement that they're cutting what they call worthless degrees. They haven't mentioned which ones, but I can bet any money fine art will be in the top 5. And it seems to be art seems to be pushed down the list without any. I think it's because those in charge don't see it as making money. But in terms of benefiting society, it's massive. I've always argued that these big companies that earn billions of pounds profit, they should also start investing in producing art courses for the people who work there, because ultimately it'll benefit not just the workers who work in there, but it'll benefit the company. Because if you've got a more mentally people who are
feeling better mentally, they feel more calm, or
exactly, and they're going to produce better work, better quality of work. Most people at the moment tend to, I used to do it. To get away from work, you'd go out and get drunk or something, which for a couple of hours it makes you feel all right. But then in the morning you've got a bad hangover. You're going to work and all you want to do is go to sleep. It'd be better if they had something like a creative thing, not just painting, but anything else. So it's a really important thing. It was important to me when I was going through a real bad sort of state of mind, and I think it can benefit anybody, not just who are sort of going through that same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can benefit all of us.
Yeah, it'd be really great. It's like a social club, and they're doing something that's like creative. And some people may have mental health problems, and they'll benefit from that as well.
And it's not as though there's no interest in art as well.
No.
We used to have in the Packhorse shopping centre, we used to have a little unit in there, a few of us who used to work in there to paint. And the amount of people that would come in and want to chat to us and want to chat about art, people who've not done any art since they were at school. And it just shows you how much interest there is from people, every people, they are keen on that. But it's just nothing's invested, and it would make a better society if more and more companies and government invested in things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brilliant idea. It would be really good if there could be someone to take that forward. It would be fantastic. Pilot it in some some companies. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a famous quote by American writer Thomas Merton: "Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time." What does that mean to you?
Well, this is one of my favourite quotes. I just think it's such a brilliant idea. I think it's Merton was a monk. He was a Trappist monk.
Oh, really?
So he's quite spiritual in that sense. And I think it's quite interesting, because I'm not a spiritual person. In fact, I don't believe. I'm an atheist. But I must admit, when I look at a painting, I used to love. When I lived in London, I used to love, because there are lots of art galleries. I'd go into the National Gallery with the Impressionist room there, because I like the Impressionists. And I could spend hours just inside that, looking at Van Gogh's there and Cézanne's also. And there was something about there is something spiritual about standing in front of a painting. You just get that feeling, which is difficult to describe. So in that way, I can understand the spirituality. It just, I don't know how to explain it. So I mean, the quote also goes into the mental health thing as well. When you're painting, you can forget about all your problems. For 3 or 4 hours that you painted away, you can forget about your gas bill and your mortgage or anything like that, and you just lose yourself. And that's exactly what that quote is. But also, with the finding yourself bit, is because you actually become a better human being. I think when you're actually creating that, rather than just going out and getting drunk or
Yeah, because it brings off that sort of like, there's a sort of meditative quality, where you can meditate, even if people can meditate whether they believe in God as such or not, because it's like this sort of like transcendence of the sort of mundane and quite things, and the same as you get in with painting, like maybe you get in like in looking at paintings, because you can get that where you just kind of zone out, and you just focus on them.
That's right. Yeah, you forget all your problems. You can just the number of times I've been painted away. When you get really into it, if you're having a bad day painting, then it's completely different. But if you're enjoying yourself, if something's going well, you can you eventually look at your watch and you think, oh my God, where did those 4 hours go?
So thinking about your finished works of art, can you describe a painting that makes you feel proud or happy? And can you say why it makes you feel that way?
Yeah, that's quite a difficult one, but it's funny. Most paintings I do, I usually think, oh yeah, they're all right. That's the best I could do. Occasionally I'll get a painting that there's something about it. You just think, it's brilliant. I love that painting. I can't do any better than that. And that's only happened 4 or 5 times, I think, in the last few years. But I suppose one of them was an early painting I did. And I don't know whether it's maybe on the screen or something, but it's called Wash Day. And it's just a back street. It's all very greys and browns and stuff. And the woman's hanging the washing out. The kids playing and stuff. And I quite like that. I think I picked that out to be favourite because it was the first paint I did where I felt really proud about doing it. I thought that, and it seemed to be a bit of a turning point for me in the painting. And also it reminds me of Monday was always wash day.
Yeah.
And there was always if you were playing with a little kid around there washing, you'd always hear things like, "Don't you dare mess my washing up, or you'll get a backhander," it's that type of stuff. So I quite like that. So that's probably one of the favourite paintings.
Nice, lovely, thank you. That's great. So you held a solo exhibition in Huddersfield Art Gallery last year. Could you tell us a bit about that, and have you exhibited anywhere else?
Well, I think like most people who are into art, there's nothing better than exhibiting your work. It doesn't matter whether it's in a local cafe or anything like that. It really gives you a bit of a kick to see your work on the wall. And so the Huddersfield Art Gallery one was, that's amazing, just being in a gallery,
Yeah.
And it was, we originally were going to do it a couple of years earlier, but because of COVID, it meant everything was put on hold. And then I just, which is a good thing, because I didn't actually, it wouldn't have been as good, I don't think, if I'd have done it then. A couple of years later, I was able to do like various sculptures and things like that. But it was great. It was really good to see. Like I said, it does your self-esteem the world of good. You've seen all these your sort of paintings on the wall. So yeah, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a great thing. The other places I've exhibited, I suppose the other one was what you mentioned in the intro, was at the Walker Art Gallery, which is a big art gallery in Liverpool. And I can't remember the prize. They have a northern equivalent to the Turner Prize. I can't remember what it is now, but it'll come to me. But so it's quite a prestigious gallery. They had an exhibition called Art from the Terraces, I think. It was all to do with the influences that football have on art, and also what, art on football. And so it included all sorts of things: paintings, videos. There was various, there's fashion, the influences, fashion. So it's a big exhibition.
Oh.
And the interesting thing was that I got chosen for that because I was showing my work in the Huddersfield Art Society exhibition.
Oh, wow.
And there's a painting I did called 8 Bloody Nil, and it was about being a Rotherham United supporter. It's the despair that you feel most of the time, and it's on the terraces, And one of the organisers of the exhibition was coming around that exhibition, and he thought, I'll make a note of that. And it was about 2 years later, and the interesting thing is 2 years later I got this email from the Walker Art Gallery, and I just thought, somebody's winding me up, because he looked at who was in there. There's like Turner Prize winners and guy who was just having an exhibition in the Tate Gallery and stuff.
Wow.
And I'm there, just some painter from Huddersfield, and I just thought it was somebody winding me up, so I just ignored it. And it took them a while to actually track me down, but they did. And then I realised it was genuine. So, but that was great, to be in the Walker Art Gallery, and
Wow.
even got a mention in the Guardian newspaper. So it's
Oh, fabulous. So what, they emailed you saying we'd like to exhibit your work in the exhibition?
It's good. So it's
Nice.
a really good exhibition to be involved with.
Nice.
And then there's just local ones that, I think it's like I said, if you get the chance to exhibit anyway, it doesn't matter whether it's in the local corner shop. I'd suggest if you're doing art, just do it,
Yeah, definitely. And you get some reactions from people, you get feedback.
Exactly,
Yeah,
there's nothing better than somebody saying, I saw your
like that.
exhibition,
Yeah, that's right. Even if somebody wants to buy it, I say, well,
Even
wow.
better,
It's like,
It-
oh, way.
your self-esteem just shoots up.
It's an absolute buzz. Absolute buzz.
Yeah, that's why, I like being in the Huddersfield Art Society, because we have an exhibition every year. It used to be when the art gallery was open, it used to be in the art gallery. And hopefully if it gets rebuilt again, it'll be there again. But it's fantastic exhibiting your work.
Oh, fantastic. So in terms of your personal identity and your sense of who you are, how important to you is being an artist? That's a question I ask all the artists that come on the Art Gen.
Yeah. I think that's quite a difficult one. I mean, it is, because I'm not the sort of person that, I just paint. I mean, I don't really think about it. I don't think that I'm an artist or anything like that. I just do things that I really enjoy doing, But but in terms of the activity, it's very important because it keeps me sane.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't really, I don't see. I know some people might say, they do it because of this reason and that, but I don't really have a reason apart from I enjoy doing it,
Well, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Keeping yourself sane is also very important.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So interesting, Glenn. Yeah, lovely. Thank you for joining us today. It's been great talking
That's all right.
to you.
It's been good fun.
Great. Brilliant. Yeah, loved it.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. And to you, the audience, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to Kirklees Local TV on YouTube to get our latest videos first. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Should we get that cup of tea then?
All right.